Greetings, people of the interwebs. My name is Dragoneye, and I'll be acting as your guide through feudal China. But before we start, allow me to just give a quick rundown of what the series is. The idea is that I play through a game of good old Total War, but then, through the magic of my incredible editing and voice acting skills, transform it into a true historic documentary. Now, this is my first time ever doing anything like this, which means it will be incredible. So, without further ado, enjoy the show. The year is 190 AD. The Han Empire is in shambles. After the defeat of the Yellow Turban Rebellion, He Jin, the military general and acting regent to the young emperor, was slain by the eunuchs of the imperial court. Shortly after the assassination of He Jin, his trusted generals invaded the palace and slaughtered the 10 eunuchs in bloody vengeance. These events would seal the fate of the Han. Dong Zhuo, a mighty warlord from the western provinces, seeing the opportunity of the power vacuum in the imperial palace, invaded and usurped Liu Yang, placing his own puppet emperor, Xian of Han, on the throne. And so, the rule of terror began. Cao Cao, one of the great generals who ensured victory against the Yellow Turban Rebellion, had become one of Dong Zhuo's trusted advisors. Though, this was a ploy. As soon as Cao Cao got close enough, he attempted to kill Dong Zhuo in his sleep. Unfortunately, he was caught by Dong Zhuo's adopted son, the great warrior Lu Bu. Luckily, Cao Cao was able to escape with his life and fled back to his home country in the Central Plains. Since the attempt to kill Dong Zhuo alone was a failure, it was time to try to defeat him with thousands of men. Cao Cao turned to one of the greatest defenders of China, Yuan Shao, to form a new coalition with one sole purpose: to kill the tyrant. The Battle of Hulao Gate was a victory for the coalition, though not the crushing victory that was needed. Dong Zhuo, in great spite, razed and pillaged the great capital Luoyang, then retreated to Chang'an. Cao Cao, now with no other option, decides that the only way to bring China back to peace is to unite the land himself. The time for a new dynasty has come. Cao Cao's power has dwindled. In order for him to establish himself as a mighty warlord, he must first begin to unite the commandery of Chen under his banner. An easy task. The villages still swear their loyalty to the late Han. Cao Cao will liberate them from this ignorance. Though Cao Cao himself is a formidable general, he is not a fighter. Luckily, Cao Cao already has many skillful companions under his command. Zhihao Dun, one of the greatest warriors in China, is an expert duelist. No warrior has ever beaten him in single combat. Zhihao Dun's cousin, Zhihao Yuan, does not fear the heat of battle, and often charges head-on into any threat. His knowledge of cavalry tactics will be a great asset. And then there is Cao Ren, Cao Cao's younger cousin. Though with still much to learn, he shows no fear. He may even command an army of his own one day. Also, while Cao Cao is away, his wife, Lady Bian, and father, Cao Song, will stay behind to watch over his two sons, Cao Ang and Cao Pi. They are also going to be in charge of governing the town and to deal with any domestic affairs. Taking the livestock farm was easy. There was very little resistance, and Cao Cao almost felt welcome there. However, taking the farmland would prove to be a much more interesting challenge.
This place is ours now.
As soon as Cao Cao arrived, He Yi, leading one of the last remnants of the Yellow Turban Rebellion, was spotted already sieging the land in Chen. This was unacceptable. Cao Cao could not allow He Yi to take what was rightfully his own. Cao Cao marched his troops into the farmland, and He Yi, knowing that he was outmatched, fled back to Runan.
A waste of time.
Later that year, tragedy struck, as Cao Song had been ambushed by Tao Quan's forces and killed. Tao Quan claimed that this event was an unfortunate accident, and that he did not intend to kill Cao Song. True or not, Cao Cao did not care. He would have invaded Tao Quan's lands then and there, but unfortunately, due to the recent war with He Yi, Cao Cao had no choice but to wait. Wait for his time to strike. Revenge would have to come another day. And so the war continued, and Cao Cao began pushing his forces south with the intention to conquer all of Runan. As his army approached, the defending army under the command of He Man abandoned the town and fled in terror to the iron mines. Then Tao Quan, as if he knew of Cao Cao's undying grudge against him, came to Cao Cao, requesting they form a pact of non-aggression. In return, Tao Quan would give Cao Cao a large sum of gold. After deep thought and many debates with his advisors, Cao Cao decided to accept the treasure and maintain certain peace. For now. Cao Cao continued his march towards the iron mines. Scouts report that both He Yi and He Man are preparing defensive positions deep in the mountains. It looks like they've been cornered with nowhere else to hide. Cao Cao might finally get the fight he's been waiting for.
All must unite for reunification.
And as if he wasn't busy enough, Cao Cao gets word that Xiao Yuan has been showing great discontent back at court. Yuan feels that being left at home to defend the province is undermining his true potential, and the lack of responsibility is a dishonor to himself. To compensate for his whining, Cao Cao promoted him to Chancellor, plus gave him a gift as a congratulations for the new promotion. Xiao Yuan, with his newfound loyalty, cooled his temper and got on with his life.
To arms!
This will please you, as it has us.
Yuan Shu, the brother of Yuan Shao, wishes to declare himself the rightful ruler of China. As ridiculous as the proposition may be, Cao Cao believes Shu, being a powerful neighbor, is more useful as a friend than an enemy. So he decides he will participate in whatever game Shu is playing. The agreement, on the surface to be honest and just, strengthens the relationship between the two warlords greatly.
Considered offers produce effortless pacts.
Strike hard! For order!
In the winter of 192 AD, the time had finally come to take Runan Mine. This was an opportunity Cao Cao could not ignore, for the victory in this battle would eradicate the entire army in one fell swoop. He Yi and all three of his generals would be participating. Cao Cao was determined that these remnants of a bygone rebellion be squashed like the dying flame that was their cause. The mine itself is garrisoned by He Man's forces. The rest of the army would arrive as reinforcements, led by the commanding general, He Yi. The only way to access the mines is from the front, which means Yi would have to go around the mountain to reinforce his comrades. This gave Cao Cao the tactical advantage to deal with the army one half at a time. This was a crushing victory against He Yi's forces. Not only did Cao Cao decimate their army, but he also captured two of Yi's officers, Wen Sen Shu and Guo Da. Cao Cao knew that he couldn't let both of them live, so he executed Da and then released Zhen Shu back to her master to send the message that if any other He Yi officer is captured by his force, they would be executed with no exception. With the capture of the Runan iron mine, Cao Cao was now the ruler of two commanderies. With a strong defensive pact formed with both Liu Brao and Yuan Shu, Cao Cao had no further threats from the west. So now his eyes turn to the east, where he has a grudge to settle. But that is a story for another time.